Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, got some breaking news out of a place called Troy, Michigan. Shout out Troy, Michigan. Said it's north of Detroit, and this happened at a medical facility called the Oxford Center, in which a 5-year-old boy was in a pressurized hyperbaric chamber, which exploded and killed him on scene. His mother was injured as she was in the room watching the procedure, and they're still getting details as we speak. Man, this is a horrific thing, going for a medical treatment and losing your life. Prayers and condolences to the family. Here's the story.
With a breaking news alert.
We have several important stories we're following for you today, so thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Kiara Hay, but we're going to start with our breaking news on a truly heartbreaking death of a 5-year-old boy. He was killed this morning when a hyperbaric chamber exploded at a medical facility in Troy. Police just explained how this tragedy happened. So for the latest, we're going to go live to Troy with 7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wembley. Randy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Kira, an absolutely tragic situation here in Troy. As you mentioned, the 5-year-old boy died after an explosion inside of a hyperbaric chamber. His mother, who was in the room, was also injured. I want to have you guys take a look. This is the building in question. As you can see, still a bit of an active scene here. This happened at the Oxford Center on Kurtz Boulevard. That's near 75 and Big Beaver, just before 8 o'clock this morning. Now, the center uses those chambers for hyperbaric oxygen therapy for children with autism, and here's how that works. By having them breathe 100% oxygen while in a pressurized chamber, it increases the amount of oxygen in the patient's blood. But here's the problem. The Troy Fire Department says that having that much oxygen in a pressurized environment can make it extremely combustible.
Upon arrival, the first arriving units unfortunately discovered a 5-year-old boy deceased on the scene.
We did some initial investigation. This is very uncommon, so we're not sure what led up to it, and that's what our investigation is going to show. So in further time, we'll be able to release that information, what exactly happened with that chamber.
Exceptionally difficult day for all of us, as law enforcement officials have shared at our location in Troy. This morning, a fire started inside of a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. The child being treated in that chamber did not survive, and the child's mother was injured. The safety and well-being of the children we serve is our highest priority. Nothing like this has happened in our more than 15 years of providing this type of therapy. The center went on to say that we do not know why or how this happened and will participate in all of the investigations that now need to take place. If you are just joining us, a 5-year-old boy died after an explosion inside of a hyperbaric chamber at the Oxford Center here in Troy. We're going to have more information from the police department and the Troy Fire Department at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight. But for now, we're live in Troy. I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
All right, guys, that's the story, and it said, I'm reading the article. It says the 5-year-old boy was killed after the hyperbaric chamber blew up inside the building. His mother, who was next to the chamber at the time, also suffered injuries to her arms. Said upon arrival, fire officials dealt with a fire inside the chamber. It was contained to the room. Medical staff also at the building were not injured during the explosion. Said it happened shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. Now, I mean, this is one of those things, man. What makes this thing sad is, you know, you go and take your child for treatment. And I don't know if he was been there before or not, but it said it was a place where they treated autistic children. So he must have been dealing with some form of autism. And you wind up not coming out. This lady's lucky she didn't expire also in the explosion, but I mean, just visualizing that whole situation. It's a Friday at that. Here you got your 5-year-old son, taking him in there to get some work done, you know, to help him, you know, with his condition, and only you walk out of there, and barely at that. on a weekend day almost, the beginning of the weekend. Heartbreaking. I mean, things happen, accidents do happen, but I mean, when I heard this, I couldn't believe it. I was like, a hyperbaric chamber. I thought they was only in labs or something. I didn't know like they had that type of stuff in buildings. But where do you go with this? I mean, it's machines malfunction, maintenance records. I don't know, but I mean, I do know somebody's hurting right now. Lost a child, almost lost a wife, most likely, and it's just sad. Let me see if I can dig anything else up here while I'm looking at this. Said, what is a hyperbaric chamber? It says a hyperbaric chamber is a pressurized room or container that has 100% oxygen inside it, which is highly flammable. According to the Mayo Clinic, patients undergoing hyperbaric oxygen therapy use it to treat a condition called decompression sickness, which occurs due to rapid drops in the surrounding pressure. The goal is to get more oxygen to the tissue of the body that's been damaged by disease or injury. In a hyperbaric chamber, the air pressure is increased 2 to 3 times higher than normal air pressure. That way, lungs can receive more oxygen, which can enhance new growth of blood vessels and boost one's immune system. Because the chamber is pressurized, it can become highly combustible. And it says a hyperbaric chamber contains 100% oxygen, which is 5 times the amount of oxygen in a normal room. The presence of such a high amount of oxygen in a pressurized environment can make it extremely combustible. He said, this is the fire chief talking. He said he also added that these kinds of explosions are extremely uncommon. So we don't know what caused it. It eventually come out, but 5-year-old kid's dead. And he died on the scene from the explosion. I mean, just as a parent being there and witnessing that, it takes a lot out of you. Besides the death of your child. I mean, this is something you don't want to wish on nobody that's just going for some type of treatment. I mean, just seeing your child hurt from a common cold or a sickness where they're bedridden or something like that, or something, God forbid, cancerous, it takes a toll on a parent feeling powerless that they can't take the pain away from their baby. So, I mean, like I said, man, something like this, man, prayers and condolences go out. It's truly tragic, especially on a Friday. Now you got to plan for a funeral. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Always cherish the day, because you'll never know if you'll be promised tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.